blessings involved, contracts. Welcome back to Pisces TV with Dr. MB. This is your Tea with Tana. For all of my returners, I definitely appreciate your continued support. And for the newcomers, thank you guys for stopping by as we get started. If you have never had tea with Tana, honey, it could go any kind of way. As the cards have been shuffled out, we're going to go ahead and get started. And first, I would just like to invite you all into the description box. A lot of information there. I won't go over the whole spiel. I think you guys get it. But if you're new and interested in my products and services, booking, contest, winning free readings, contacting me, joining our membership section, all of the links are in the description box, okay? Here on YouTube, we have a member section. We have the store with new winter merchandise, as well as the community board, which is so essential. Check that out after the video. Like I said, I won't go into too many details because it's like, come on, let's get to the gets it. So cool, okay? As we open up and close kind of with Pisces energy, I love it. December is here. I felt January like intuitively, but I said we'll do a separate reading for January. I feel love. I feel increase. I feel coming out of difficulties. I do see that it's important to kind of stay active and move forward. I also see luck. Okay, don't want to lean too much on luck, but some of you guys will be very lucky as you got like the 4-leaf clover and the rainbow in like the same area. A mysterious mystique kind of energy comes from a compliment, an admirer, and then overall changes in your life, okay? For some of you, money could have been a concern, for better or for worse. You know, it doesn't say you have money issues, doesn't say money issues are to come, but I do see money coming toward you, and some of you could have experienced increase in December. Others of you could experience increases in December, and then also love. All right, when love and Pentacles come together, I do kind of think about the Queen and the King of Pentacles. And honestly, when I saw boutique over here, I kind of felt arrangement. Have you ever had something from Edible Arrangements? Okay, so some of you, because the Queen of Pentacles does deal with herbs, roots, you know, the earth, that energy, and sometimes there's an income made from it. You guys could be putting things together, making arrangements. She's also very detailed and organized when it comes to planning. So arrangements as in putting together herbs, spices, flowers, arrangements as in planning, staying organized, staying busy, and also arrangements as in relationships, marriages, and getting together. So that was kind of cool. Now, because I did a Celtic style, we'll run through the cards. I also have tarot here to take clarifiers, but I just wanted to give you some of the exciting updates that could be coming toward you. Like I said, it's crazy because for some of you, money's coming, and then that's through your career sector. For others of you, in the past, there could have been difficulties in luck or love, I feel, or dealing with moon energy, the shadow side. But that's behind you, because like I said, in the past, we have the most difficult part of the situation is over. I do like that. And then in the environment, I have love. So it doesn't have to be romance for everyone, but the flowers and the hearts usually symbolize like romance, love, growth, harmony when we think about those two cups. And then as I shuffled and stopped, I got the Ace of Pentacles looking at these coins, and I also have the Lovers. So it wasn't far-fetched when I talked about arrangements, making arrangements. Some of you are going to be very busy, either in business or in relationship. Some of you both. So let's go to the beginning. In the current situation or the central issue, I have the goldfish, gold for my pentacles, right? And the fish could be for my Pisces. If you guys have like spirit animals, animal totem, you can look into what the goldfish represents. But in this deck, it talks about increase in wealth or spiritual growth. I don't think there's an or, because wealth is usually given, earned, received, practiced. You know, there's some kind of effort that does go into it. And spirituality could be your energy, your beliefs, and all kind of stuff. So with the goldfish, an exquisite goldfish swims in clear blue water tinted gold by the sun. Its long fins and tail undulate slowly as it swims around the pond. This card signifies that the seeker, you, will either have an increase in material wealth or will experience spiritual growth during the time frame indicated. I set my intentions on the near future. It could have been past for some of you. It may be future or present for others of you. Just take what resonates. So with the goldfish and the current energy, like I said, I have the Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and Lover. So for some of you, that is focusing on your goals, on your spiritual path, as the Lovers does represent North Node, Gemini. The Queen of Pentacles does represent growth, opportunity, practicality, releasing things from the past, getting organized and aware about the future. And then, like I said, some type of contract, agreement, tangible item, material gain to come of that. Now, when we go to what crosses you, crossing does not have to be a bad thing, but the central issue in what crosses you is kind of like the focal point of the reading. For those of you that are looking for, that may do tarot cards or whatever, I just like to say that crossing you doesn't always mean like, a friend or a person or a situation that crosses you in a negative aspect. So as I shuffle and stop, it says money will be coming to you. Here is the Six of Pentacles. Here is the Daughter of Cups. Here is the Page of Cups. I feel that there could be partnerships, because when I see two aces, I think about an alliance. And then I see the Six of Pentacles and I see growth. I also take the branch from the Six of Pentacles to be like a piece from the Empress tree. So I feel like with the newness of the pages and the newness of the Six of Pentacles, I feel like this is new money. And if it's not new money, like I said, it's a new partnership, new possibilities, maybe an offer for some of you with the Page of Cups. Others, it may be a letter, some type of communication, reaching out, or some good news, right? Now, I feel that if this is growth, for some of you, this is like being practical over the illusions, imagination, and daydreaming, okay? So where we have career crossing the coins and love crossing the coins, I feel that some of you are lucky enough to have growth in both your love life and finances, but others of you take from it what you may, right? As these cards are crossing. So that's pretty cool. When I look at coins from the book here, just so that we don't miss anything, right? And it's fun. It's like, why buy them if you're not going to see what they had to say? Even though like intuitive reading is what I do, and you don't need the book, but it's cool. Money will be coming to you, and it says right here, giant coins appear to be falling from a cloudless sky onto a bed of flowers. Good fortune is in store for the seeker who chooses this card, as it signifies that money will be coming forth or forthcoming. Now notice you have good fortune here, and then the mention of flowers with the boutique and love here. So I absolutely love that, as it will be forthcoming. And that's what crosses you, good fortune. So that is awesome. Now when we get into the center of the reading, the what is below, I thought that was very interesting for the below, for the what you need to know. And those of you that are on this spiritual path, it has stepping into new experiences. Now the legs are the lower region of the body. So I thought of the leg as for taking action. For some of you, it could talk about inaction, because I saw the Seven of Pentacles, which talks about waiting, time, reflection. So we want to make sure that we are moving forward and are taking action. The throne that came up for you, anytime I see steps, I'm triggered to kind of go back to that reading where we talked about the throne. And for this new position of authority or throne that you guys will be receiving, it talked about the steps that lead up to the throne, because the throne was up on a pedestal. And when we talk about the pedestal in tarot, it brings me into the energy of like the Six of Wands, which does talk about awareness for spirituality, recognition for all of my stars, right? So stepping into a new experience could be the stepping stones or the stepping blocks up to that new position of authority, whether that be, you know, in career or in love, okay? Because authority in a relationship just says that there may be a commitment. You may have a say-so. You ain't got no say-so when y'all just friends, or it's an understanding, you know, that it's a situationship. So as I shuffle the cards, I have the Hangman. So for some of you, this is definitely a spiritual path. For others of you, at the bottom of the deck, I have the Tower. So this could be the new experience, something unexpected along your path, okay? Now, in the past, like I said, you guys have the Rainbow. Oh, I didn't read leg, huh? Some of you that like to hear these probably said that, like, she didn't read the leg part. And so it says no. That's cool too, though. And also, if you're into the occult anatomy, the Kundalini energy, all aspects of the body could be associated with different astrology, because I know the foot is Pisces. I forgot what the leg was, but you're all welcome, because we like to do homework, to look at the leg in occult anatomy, or Kundalini energy, the tree of life, however you want to call it. Look and see what the leg is associated with. They could also provide like further confirmation and clarity to you, okay? But the leg is firmly planted on the ground, so grounded energy, and not suspended in air like the Hangman. So even though the leg is well formed and muscular, there is no way of telling if the leg belongs to a man or a woman. This card indicates that you will be stepping into a new experience during the time frame shown, and we, you know, didn't ask for a specific time frame other than the near future, okay? So again, when we move over to Rainbow, the thing of the past, when I said some of you may have experienced difficulties in situations, which could be love for you, or like I said, the moon energy, which talks about the shadow, the unknown. I have a glorious rainbow stretches from one end of a cloudless sky. So here we have cloudless like twice. And cloudless does represent, you see it's clouds here, right? And then we talk about cloudless, which could have provided clarity, moving those clouds out of the way. But it signifies that you have dealt with the most difficult part of a situation, and that things will be much easier in the future. And check connecting cards to see more about the situation. And like I said, for some of you, this could have involved love, okay? And if not love, just take it from it what you may. Now, looking at the tarot cards associated with the rainbow, I have Temperance. So that would be Source kind of coming in, helping out. It also talks about chemistry. It talks about balance. It talks about fire. It talks about water. And then I see all of the chakra colors associated in this card. Temperance, I feel, is also Sagittarian energy. Okay. We have the Three of Pentacles, which talks about a creation. So you have Temperance coming here, helping or taking away a lot of your frustrations, or either helping with your desires, because I see the fire as, you know, desire for love, frustration possibly for the moon, and then adding water to the fire of frustration just rinses you, brings you back into your divine essence. Water also for fire could also talk about passion, desires, and love, you know, tears, crying, and sadness. But either way, there's a balance of some sort. With the Three of Pentacles, it just talks about continuing to work to reinvent yourself, or something about creation, being more creative thinking. And then I have the Seven of Swords. So the unknown with the Moon card, lies, deceptions, secrets, okay, for some of you. And here we have crowning you, the boutique, compliments from an admirer. And notice that I've already mentioned the star, right? So what lies above and the possibilities talk about admiration. It talks about compliments or even your thoughts, because I did see the Eight of Swords. So kind of getting out of toxic situations or certain mind frames is very important. But I do see that there's a change where if your thoughts are represented by a boutique of flowers, that talks about growth. So the crown chakra being connected, being enlightened, if the hangman is now on foot and out of suspension. But like I said, some of you guys have love on your mind or growth, in finances, in love, or in life. Now, from the book, the boutique, this card signifies that the seeker will receive compliments from an admirer. Although the compliments could very well be from a romantic nature, the seeker should not automatically think of that as the only possibility. This symbol means compliments from any source. This could include compliments from a boss for a job well done, a parent complimenting a child, or compliments from a friend. So I definitely like that. You could also be complimenting someone else. It doesn't mean it, just have to be one-sided, but that's awesome. I think there's something about the future that you're looking forward to. I also feel that victory, clarity coming out of those clouds with the Father of Swords. In your crown chakra, to have the Father of Swords is highly intelligent, intellectuals, conversation, technology, and then, like I said, modern technology for some of you guys, or just this super consciousness. And then we have the Chariot. So the Chariot is that Three of Pentacle energy where it talks about the sun, the moon, the star. As you can see, that is also balance and energy. It does talk about moving forward and taking action and being assertive. So all of that energy here in the Chariot, and also double emphasis on what's coming toward you, good fortune, new experiences. So in the future, we have career, okay? Which looks like a table, but it's much different from the table, because there's also a T card that talks about the table, but this is like more of a desk. Notice that we have your feather from the King of Swords. We have your boutique here, which is showing up as what looks like ivies, right? Or ivories. I don't know which one of them. But with the coins and the plants, I like that. Whatever it means, right? So career from the guidebook. I like it. I like all of it. When I sat here, I was just like, cool. We back on it. Because, I don't know, the last 24 to 48 hours, it was like, oh, what's going on with the energy here? From looking at you guys' comments in the chat to how the energy of the readings were kind of changing, but maybe that was necessary. So kind of just like keep us moving forward, okay? Is it here? They are in alphabetical order. Okay, and it doesn't have words on the bottom. So I think these are different, okay, because it talks about astral house. So check your natal charts for what planet or sign, and my hands are ashy, are in your career sector. And then once we get to this part, also for your love sector, but let me check the book here and see. I was wondering, I was like, I know I'm not sure ripping. So we have career as in house. Maybe that is for each individual, because it's important, even though most of us here are Pisces, sun, moon, Venus, whatever. This career is specifically for you when it comes to the house that it falls in your chart. If you guys want natal readings, I do offer those, and I have same day availability, but I don't see here anything specific toward the card other than your career sector. So coming up in the near future, we have career sector. And of course, above it, we have increase and spiritual growth. Some of you guys may have spiritual businesses, and others of you, it says money will come to you. And I feel like in your career sector. So it's not like a lover is going to come along and sweep you off your feet and buy you everything you want. For some of you, this could be earned income. For others of you, it could be like new clients, more business, grants, loans, opportunities, things like that, okay? So as I shuffle the cards, I do see that there could have been some losses or just feeling trapped mentally or physically in situations. I see the 8 of Wands here, which talks about action, going at a distance. Some of you guys may feel restricted when it comes to travel or something about traveling, because these 3 swords are entangled, in this rope or whatever, which the 3 of swords actually talks about entanglements. And then we have the 8 of Wands here, which, like I said, is distance, being at a distance. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when I saw December, I did think about cold. I don't know why. And I was like, is Pisces cold? Has the season been cold? Wasn't sure what that meant for you necessarily, even though we're on the career card. But it's right next to December. So I just wondered if that had anything to do with it. Like where if things are slow, how they could pick up rather quickly. All right. Conflicts within the group could have also been an issue. So just be mindful of that. And ironically, the 3 of Swords as a season does represent the winter. The timing is about 3 weeks. This is Saturn and Libra energy. So this could have been, something symbolic to a house in your chart and what Saturn is doing along with the winter season. Damn, that does sound cold. All right, now how this affects you towards your career. It just talks about, that's not fair to say. I'm thinking if you're a surgeon. I don't know a lot of surgeons that watch tarot on YouTube because they just have a different algorithm in their brain. But it just talks about some type of change, okay? Things being removed from your life. Because when I think about surgery, it could have been something harming you, right? And a surgeon goes in, because I'm trying to factor this into spiritual growth and material wealth, and how Saturn is very restrictive sometimes, right? And these, cords around these swords are very restricting. And then these 8 wands kind of talk more about freedom, movement, action. You also had the King of Swords kind of come up. So maybe that's what cuts through these cords to release you and take action. So that could be a thing. But I just feel, like I said, there could have been some type of issues within groups, family, friends, growing pains, breakups, life plans, growing apart, so that could have been changing from one thing you do to going into something else you do. And then as we talked about parents and children, some of you guys could have been sending children off to college or just some type of painful journey. But there's also a joy in it. So it's kind of like, how they say bittersweet kind of energy. It's not all lost for all of you. Some of the 3 of Swords is kind of like a bittersweet. Even if you have to leave, it's kind of like maybe having to leave something behind. You know what I'm saying? To go do something else. So that's kind of cool. What else we got? And the card at the back. Oh, okay. Was the 7 of Swords again that came up, kind of like they're on the edge here, where it talks about the hidden. Okay. Some of you guys could also, in your spiritual journey, spiritual business, be looking into hidden knowledge, occult knowledge, as I just talked about, the Kundalini, Tree of Life, occult anatomy could be a thing. And so as we move over into December, okay, with December, under the money will be coming to you. And of course, we're in December right now, which is super cool. It talks about kind of like the future. So what lies before you, okay? December is not ahead of us. We're pretty much in it and we're stepping into it. Some of you, it could have been in between for the finances. Others of you, it's like not, not really being fully aware. When I say aware, because we have the Hierophant here in the reverse, which is the revealer, which is the gift giver, or also talks about your beliefs, right? Some of you guys could have had a change in beliefs. Also, the Hierophant is like spiritual unions, connections, like I said, religion, spirituality, and kind of like being in the reverse could talk about just the lack of organization from actual organizations or like being organized. It also talks about, like I said, ancient knowledge, history, all those kind of things, and one voice. So you could have found your voice. Whereas, like I said, some of you guys could have had issues with group situations. Now we saw the Chariot. The Chariot is also it has its association with the Hierophant, Taurus, and Moon energy. The planet associated with the Hierophant, and we're on December, and it's crazy how each card kind of leads to the next card, but it does talk about Venus. Venus could affect your love and career for some of you, so that's very important. But it's like a deviation with the Hierophant, okay? It's also a marriage card, and then brings us back to arranged marriages, okay? But I think in reverse, it's a good position because it talks about arranged marriages and marriages of convenience. So that could be a factor for some of you guys, even though the Emperor hasn't come up. So I don't think it's more so about like leaving a boss. Excuse me. For some of you, it could be, even if you're wanting to become your own boss, meditating on a situation that brings together two opposites. So either way, there was probably an outside influence in this section for December. Others of you, you know, it could be school, libraries, government offices, and bureaus, however that manifests for you. Training in another field in order to get the job you really wish for. Universities and colleges, considering going back to school or specialized classes. Maybe you've been thinking about going back to school, getting your master's or something like that. You might want to consider another formal level of education for some of you guys. Now, I did last year around this time, I think, or 2 years ago, I can't remember. I went back, even after I had made my decision, coming out of business, coming out of healthcare, because I was a dental assistant, and I was like, I want to be a dental hygienist when I was younger. And then it went to business, and then it went to law. And so after all of that, old as I am, I was like, okay, I'm going to get my doctorates and do theology, right? So some of you could be having that moment of just like wanting more, where it's like doctrines, PhDs. Some of you are mediators, okay? Accountants, bookkeepers. So when I talked about organized or getting organized, that could have something to do with it. Others of you, because I just coughed again too, the inner voice could be blocked. Someone is a know-it-all and extremely rigid in their thinking. Okay, so we did see that, and thinking with the Nine of Swords could have been a factor. You may believe, or someone may believe, in, you know, things just being written in only one book without any regard to a point of view. So when I said not having support or quarrels between groups, it could have been conversations where someone thinks something goes one way and the other people are like, nah, it's just, you know, to an extreme level, something's really one-sided, okay? The Seven of Wands also talks about the eclipses that have been going on throughout the year, possibly. And we also had the solar eclipse that recently passed in December. What day was that? Was it the 14th? It was, and guess what? 9 plus 5 is 14th. So there's something significant to that eclipse for some of you. And also spiritual initiations and activations, people say, with the Seven of Wands talks about spirituality. So in the center of the reading, the environment, some of you guys could be, again, making arrangements. This bouquet, the compliments, the admirers, where I said the Empress and the Emperor comes together with their two wands, walking the same path, you know. Somebody coming out of difficulties, somebody coming into more. But it just talks about rebuilding. So the environment is love. The environment is rebuilding. Could be engagement for some of you, or engaging for others. The Seven of Pentacles talks about divine timing. It also talks about reflection. I do see the Hermit. So again, spiritual path. For others of you, the Nine of Pentacles, which talks about financial increase. So you could have been, you know, kind of to yourself or in separation, quarantine, moving slow, hiding your gifts, following your guidance, whatever the case may be. And then we have that Nine of Pentacles where maybe Saturn released that grip, maybe Jupiter, maybe the way the planets and the stars aligned, that grip was released. And like I said, you're coming into a rebuilding, a solid foundation. For some of you guys, super consciousness and good news, okay? Now with the 4-leaf clover, okay, I love luck. And it says good fortune coming your way. So your hopes and fears, all right? Hoping for the best is awesome. Being receptive, okay? Because there's an energy of negativity, I will say that, self-sabotage, coming out of like a karmic past, you know, dealing with your demons, dealing with the shadow. So whatever we dealt with during this difficult part, releasing that to move forward into the good fortune. Okay, I do see the Queen of Wands with the Moon card. The Queen of Wands the Queen of Swords in shadow could be kind of bitter, kind of rigid, kind of closed off, not nurturing at all. She definitely wouldn't be getting or receiving no compliments from an admirer. Or if some of you have shut down and set healthy boundaries, and may have, you know, stood on your sword and stood on your truth, be open and receptive to admirers and compliments. Maybe you won't see this coming because your fortune is changing. I understand you may not expect it for some of you because of the situation from the past, but it's like, be open to better opportunities, because I've seen the Devil and I've seen the Queen of Swords. So unless you're dealing with the Capricorn, it talks about being really, really focused on discipline, order, and structure. And that's not really leaving a lot of room for optimism, growth, you know, love, intuition, and a lot of our other senses. Okay? Commitment could be a factor. So this 4-leaf clover could be, and the number 4 also could be symbolic to some of you guys. When I talk about commitment, I think it's more about excitement. So temporary situations. Those of you that are kind of closed off to things, that was just a temporary situation. And if you say, well, my life has always been like this, well, keep in mind that with a lot of the alignments and the things that are happening, they have been in these cycles for 19 years, 20 years, 30 years, 300 years. You know what I'm saying? So just be open and receptive. In the outcome, for some of you, it just says the moon. This is Pisces for all of my cross watchers. So it's like you get this goldfish, for some of you, this increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. This also talks about change. It talks about momentum. It could talk about juggling for some of you, but it says changes in your life. Maybe you're juggling finances and relationships, as the Queen of Pentacles could do, keeping it all together, running your business, running your household, running your family. And if you think, well, what are the other people supposed to do? Well, then we'd have to do a reading on them. Others of you where it's like spirituality, this is on fire. This is intuition. This is spirituality. These are gifts. This is the High Priestess. This is the Chariot. This is being focused. This is being driven. Okay, so I absolutely love that. And for some of you, being driven by the divine. So that's why there's a change here, a switch here, momentum building, and that Temperance card and Source has a lot to do with it. For some of you, it's wish fulfillment. And I keep saying it. For others of you, it's good news. So this is what I have for you, Pisces. I do hope that it helps. All right, if you enjoyed Tea with Tana, this one was like really productive. Some of them get all juicy and deep and dark off into the past and stuff, but this was more enlightenment and inspiring, and I appreciate it. So thumbs up, like, subscribe, leave your comments. I appreciate you. Until next time, namaste.